for downloading The 8 Biggest Problems, brought to you by Cadence Management Corporation. For over 25 years, Cadence has been helping organizations around the world to make a difference through project management success. Cadence is widely recognized as a leading provider of project management training, consulting services, and supporting tools. Join Cadence President John Patton as interviewed by colleague Scott Allison in Part 1 of The 8 Biggest Problems.
John, could you give me the topic of the series and why you're recording this for the broader distribution?
Sure. The title of the speech, as I've been giving it around the world, has been The 8 Biggest Problems with Project Planning and Execution and the Solutions for Each. These are problems that get in the way of on-time delivery of projects in private companies and in government institutions. They were originally planned for a newsletter, and they got accelerated when our alliance partner in Japan heard about this series and said, can you put them together in a speech so that you can share it with people who are interested here in Japan? And it turned out to be a big hit in Japan. And I knew that these were universal problems and realized that they could generate universal interest. And that's really how it worked out. I've given it in all the continents around the world, and these are problems which resonate with people. Preparing it for broader distribution so we can get more people thinking about, what gets in the way of project execution, what gets in the way of good results on time within the resource levels that we've been given. And we find that in company after company, these 4 planning problems crop up, and these 4 execution problems crop up.
And how would you recommend people digest this content?
Well, I'd like them to practice active thinking and to ask about 3 questions as they're listening. First of all, does this problem exist in my company or my institution? Second, as John describes the circumstances and causes, are they the same here or are they a little different? And then finally, as John presents the solution, will the solution work as presented in my organization, or will it have to be modified to get the results that we're looking for?
And you talk about a set of 8 problems. Where did you come up with the basis for this set of 8 problems?
Well, let's give it some context. I've been in the business over 25 years. I travel about 60% of my time outside the U.S., work inside the U.S. as well. And these are problems that are very visible as we're doing training. These are the causes for consulting assignments. And so there's when you do this a lot, you start seeing some patterns appear. And as I sat down to write it, I said, well, what are the 4 biggest problems in planning that we've seen over and over again? What are the 4 biggest problems in execution? And these continually rose to the top.
Sure. We're only going to spend around 5 minutes for each problem. What do you consider to be the largest value to your listeners?
Really, sensitivity. As I said earlier, we want people to think. And we'd like them to think about project problems in a different way. In companies, there are people saying, our projects could be going better. They're not doing as well as we think they could be doing. But we don't really know the causes. And by listening to this series, they can sensitize themselves, identify with these problems. And I want them to get some visibility of the solutions as well. Now, the solutions will be presented very quickly. It doesn't mean the solutions are easy to implement, but recognize that these solutions have been implemented in best practice companies. Because we're not talking about theory here. We're talking about applications and how companies organize to get their projects done.
Thank you for listening to The 8 Biggest Problems. For more information on this series or on Cadence Management Corporation training and support for your projects, visit Cadence on the web at www.cadencemc.com. All the tools mentioned in this series are available to download for free. This and all Cadence podcasts are available for free in the iTunes Store. Download iTunes today at www.apple.com/iTunes. Join us next week for the next episode of The 8 Biggest Problems from Cadence Management Corporation. Thank you, and we wish you only the greatest project success.